The official death toll stands at 59. More than 500 were injured in the shooting. And my co-anchor, Vladimir Duthiers, is near the scene right now. Vlad, tell us what you've seen and heard since you arrived in Las Vegas.
Anne-Marie, just in the last couple of minutes, we actually got a chance to speak to two police officers. You can probably see them right behind me, parked in their vehicle here. They were not supposed to be on duty Sunday night. Of course, as soon as they realized that something was happening, they rushed to the scene and participated ultimately in breaching that room on the 32nd floor there and neutralizing the shooter. The other thing that we've noticed since we've been here are the numerous signs asking for people to donate blood, and that is something that people have done here in the city ever since the attack first happened, donating blood, donating their time. In fact, the Las Vegas Police Department yesterday had to essentially say, look, thank you so much for all that you're doing, for the number of sandwiches and the cups of coffee and the Starbucks that you're bringing to us. That may be even too much for what we ultimately need. And so people here have really responded to this crisis. But it's important, as we do our reporting here, to talk about those who lost their lives. They were just ordinary people out here for a good time, as everybody who comes to Las Vegas is here to experience. Just some fun, some laughs. They didn't realize that they would be facing the horror, the terror that they ultimately did. And I think over the next minute or so, I want to spend some time just telling you about some of these victims and who they were. And I want to start off with Adrienne Murfitt. Adrienne was from Anchorage, Alaska, and she died in the arms of his longtime friend, Brian McKinnon. Brian called Murfitt a giant teddy bear who always put his friends and family first. Sandy Casey was from California. She worked as a special education teacher in Manhattan Beach. Susan Smith lived in Simi Valley, California, where she worked for the area school district. She was described as a woman with a great sense of humor, and she was the heart of the school. Rachel Parker had been living in Manhattan Beach, California. She spent the last decade of her life working for the police department there. Quentin Robbins was a student at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. His family describes him as a young man with many talents and a sweet soul. Nasa Tonks was devoted to her 3 boys. She was from Irvine, California. Her co-workers say she always brought joy, fun, and laughter. Angela Gomez was a former cheerleader from Riverside, California. She was described as a young woman with a warm heart and a loving spirit. Lisa Romero was a loving wife and mother. She taught at a local Las Vegas high school. They're planning a vigil for her tonight. Dana Gardner worked for San Bernardino County for more than 25 years. She was described by her coworkers as a go-to person with a lot of knowledge. 34-year-old Charleston Hartfield was a Las Vegas police officer. He was a military veteran and a youth football coach, just 34 years old. 23-year-old Jordan McGildoon lived in Canada, where he worked in construction. His final minutes were spent in the arms of a total stranger who never left his side. Jenny Parks was a mother, wife, and beloved kindergarten teacher. She married her childhood sweetheart, who she shares 2 children with. Jennifer Irvine was a family law attorney from San Diego, California. She was described by coworkers as always happy and energetic. Sonny Melton was from Big Sandy, Tennessee. He worked as a nurse at Jackson-Madison County General Hospital, and his wife Heather is a surgeon there. Carrie Barnett had been saving for months to take this trip to Las Vegas. Her sister says she was an incredible aunt and her best friend. 28-year-old Cameron Robinson was at the festival with his boyfriend when he was killed. He worked for the city of Las Vegas. Bailey Schweitzer was at the concert with her mother and best friend. She was described as a ray of sunshine who brightened everyone's day. Jessica Klimchuk was from Alberta, Canada. She was an educational assistant, librarian, and a bus driver. Denise Berditis passed away in the arms of her husband of 32 years. She was a loving mother and soon to be a grandmother of 5. And just 1 week shy of his 29th birthday, Navy vet Christopher Roybal is just remembered by his wife Dixie. He served in Afghanistan. He was an explosive dog handler and even adopted one of his 4-legged partners. The victims of that horrible terrible night, Anne-Marie.
Important that we say their names, we see their pictures. They were not just victims, they were not a statistic. These are lives lost that will have a direct impact on thousands of other lives. Vlad, we're going to check in with you a little bit later. Thank you so much.